Hi, Ted Padova here again, offering you some more tips on working with Adobe PDF documents and more closely related PDF forms. You can see on screen here that I have a form. Now, many of you may have had circumstances like this where you create a form for another individual, an organization, an educational institution, some other party than yourself, and you prepare the form, create all the form fields, and then submit that to the individual you're preparing the form for, and the individual wants some changes on it. So in this video, what I'm going to talk about is modifying a PDF form and a few ways that you can handle that. On screen you can see I have a form here, and I have another form that I created where the client wanted these changes. They want the logo in the top left corner, they want this legal division title over here on the right, and they want to change some of the fields that are on the top portion of the form, as well as add a couple of check boxes and a little message down here at the bottom. Once again, if you take a look at this form, you can see that message doesn't appear, there are no check boxes here, and that title is over here on the left, not on the right where we want it, and there's no logo. So we can handle this a number of ways. One very easy way is to open up your Pages panel, and if I right click on this thumbnail for the first page, I'll open a context menu and you can see where I have Replace Pages. Now all I have to do is select Replace Pages, browse my computer, locate the document that I want to replace, and then all the form fields will remain in, and the background design is going to change according to my new design. That's one way of handling this. Now another way is to open up both of the documents over here like this, and I'm going to open up the Pages panel, and this is the design that I want to appear over here where I have my form fields. And an easy way to handle this, and it's really very visual so you can see exactly that you're using the right form. So I use this method a lot more frequently than I do the Replace Pages context menu command. If you click, then depress the Control-Alt on Windows, you'll see a little plus icon appear. On the Macintosh that would be Command-Option, and then drag over here on top of this thumbnail, and when you can see this keyline border appear, you release the mouse button, a dialog box appears, click Yes to replace the page, and voila, the page is replaced. Now if I take a look at this form, you can see that I have my fields here intact. I need to do a little bit of changing and swapping around. The reason this method is working so well for me in this particular case is if I take a look at my JavaScripts over here and I take a look at the document JavaScripts, then you can see that I have 3 JavaScripts at the document level. If I were to copy fields and paste those into my design, then I'd still have to go in and copy each one of these scripts and add those to my new design. So I don't want to do that. Replace Pages is really my best option. And on this particular form, what I would do is go over here to the Prepare Form item, and I'll select the bottom row because this is one row that I don't need on this form. All of these rows fit in nicely. I need to make a few changes, so this client number comes down here, and I've got the attorney name, which is going to be over here. This is the client name, which is moved over here to the right, and then I'm going to move this field down, and I get pretty much the top portion of this as I want it. The next thing is, down here at the bottom, I have this Create New Page button field down here. I'm going to move this aside, and you can see that I have room for a client signature. So what I need to do is I need to add a signature field. Got to move my total up here, and we just might make that a little larger to fit that rectangle on the design. And then I need to create a signature field, so I'll go up to my fields, create a signature field, And you want to make these signature fields a little bit larger than the other fields, because if you have a graphic signature that's going to appear in that field, you want to have a lot of room for it. So I'll just call this signature, like so. And the last thing I need to do is to create a couple of buttons or check boxes. And to do that, I'm going to zoom in on my form here, come down, and what I want to do is get I can use either a checkbox or a radio button. I might add another video and talk to you about the differences between radio buttons and checkboxes. But in short, let me just say to you that there is virtually no difference between a radio button and a checkbox, with the exception of 3 different items, and those have to do with design issues and a little bit of functionality. But you can use either a checkbox or a radio button. In this case, I just use a checkbox, and I'll click, and I'll call this CHK for my field name. What I want to do is open up my properties and take a look at the options over here. Instead of a check mark, I think I'll just get a square for the mark. And then what I'm going to do is take this checkbox, I'm going to hold my Alt key on Windows, or Control key. I'll hold my Control key down on Windows and Shift, and then that would be Option Command on the Mac, or Option Shift I should say, and duplicate that field. And all I want to do is change the export value. So if I leave it at yes, then both of those checkboxes are going to get checked. But if they have different export values, then it will be an either-or situation. And we can check that easily by going to the preview. I can go click, check, and that one is off. And the difference between radio buttons and checkboxes is when you have a checkbox, you can disable this checkbox like that. With a radio button, you can't do it unless you have a reset form action. So that's just one of the differences between radio buttons and checkboxes. And then I might go ahead and add a couple of signature fields at the bottom. But the point is, I modified this design very easily by going to the Replace Pages option. And I can do that either directly from within my Pages panel by opening up a context menu on a page thumbnail and choosing Replace Pages, in which case a dialog box will open, and I need to navigate my hard drive to find the file that I want to use to replace the background design. And the other option is to open up both designs, open up the Pages panel on both of them, and then press the Control Alt on Windows, the Command Option on the Macintosh, and drag on top of the form that you want to replace. So it's a very easy way to modify designs. And I would encourage you all, if you do a lot of form designs, I would encourage you to maintain all the original application documents that you created the form in and save those in addition to your forms, because invariably, if you're doing these designs for other people, other agencies, organizations, or clients, invariably they're going to want to have some changes. And if you have fields already on a form, then it's going to require some work if you have to redesign that whole form over again and then add new fields. So you just want to keep those fields intact, use Replace Pages, and it'll save you a lot of time. So once again, this is Ted Padova wishing you all the very best in all your Acrobat activity. Until next time.